Hello everyone, welcome to the Advanced English course, and in today's video we're going to talk about vocabulary related to people and relationship. This is going to be a very interesting video because we'll discuss 20 such words which will describe people and relationship. I'll help you to understand the pronunciation, their meaning, how to use those words in sentences, and most importantly, how to understand to break those words so that you will always remember it. Now, before we dive into the lecture, I have a quick request. If you could subscribe and like our videos so that we keep on doing what we are doing here, it'll be a great pleasure for us. Now, as I already mentioned, in today's video, we'll talk about 20 words related to this theme. We'll be talking about different activities to make you practice these words within the session. So I have one simple request. Don't leave this video in between because we have 5 words discussed and then an exercise to make you remember them. And lastly, there is a free PDF and a bonus tip that you should always wait till the end. The first word in the series is acquaintance. Now here the pronunciation is written at the bottom of this. Try to understand the pronunciation first and then we'll understand the meaning properly. Acquaintance. Okay. These are the sounds that you need to remember. Now we have not discussed phonetics properly in these lectures. So right now try to understand with the breakdown. Acquaintance. Acquaintance. The meaning of this word is a person you know but you are not close to. It could be your neighbor, it could be your colleague, it could be somebody that you work with. You are familiar with this person, but you are not close to this person. You may meet this person on daily basis, but you are not close friends. Such people are called as acquaintance. The word is derived from the word over here. Let me stand over here. So the root is acquaint, which means to make familiar. When you make somebody familiar, and suffix is ans, which means a quality. A quality to make somebody familiar, but you are not close friend. You need to understand this very clearly. You know this person, but you are not friends with this person. Simple meaning is this. Now, let's see a quick example of this word. Acquaintance, she's not a close friend, just an acquaintance met at a conference. She's not a close friend, just an acquaintance that I met at a conference. Alright, so this is our first word. Now let's see the second word. Second word we have colleague. Colleague in here has different pronunciation. It can also be called as colleague. It can also be called as colleague. Both the pronunciation is correct based on the usage. Now let's understand what is the meaning. Meaning is a person you know or you work with, especially a professional job. Somebody that you work with. Simple meaning. Somebody that you work with is called as colleague or colleague. Root is call, that means together. Suffix means league, that means to bind. When you bind yourself with somebody for work, that person is called as colleague. Okay, let's look at a quick example. My colleague helped me finish the project before the deadline. So as I mentioned, this person is somebody that you work with. That's why we have taken the example of finishing a project. Somebody that you work with to finish a project. Is that clear? Wonderful. Let's look into the third word. The third word we have is sibling. Remember, we are talking about people and relationship. Who are these people and what is your relationship with them? So next is sibling. Sibling is a word given to brother and sister. Next time if you are reading something and you're reading a sentence that my sibling is sick, you need to understand we are talking about either a brother or a sister. The root is sib, which means relative, and suffix is ling, which means relationship. So a relationship with a relative. And in this case, the relative is a brother and a sister. Okay. The pronunciation is sibling. Sibling. Okay. Sibling. That's your pronunciation. In order to get the pronunciation correct, you can pause this video. You can either listen to my pronunciation, but if you are tackling or you want to gain British accent or you want to get American accent, based on that you can check it on Google. Just simply write sibling pronunciation. It will show you Indian accent, it will show you British pronunciation, it will show you American pronunciation. Whichever pronunciation you are looking for, I just mispronounced a word. Whichever pronunciation you are looking for, you can simply get that. Okay. We have already discussed 3 words. After 5th word, there is going to be an exercise. So please make your notes, get these words accustomed in your mind so that you can perform well in the exercise. Okay. Let's find out a simple example of this word. Sibling. My sibling and I always shared a strong bond. Okay. I'm still getting used to this particular device, okay? So please don't mind the errors that I'm causing here. My sibling and I have always shared a strong bond. Or my sister and I have always shared a strong bond. My brother and I have always shared a strong bond. If you have 2 brothers and sisters, you can say that my siblings are always having a close bond with me. So instead of just simply saying brother and sister, we can say sibling. It's a really good word to be able to use. Next, we have spouse. Okay. Next word in the series, we have spouse. Spouse is the word given to husband and wife. Instead of saying I have a husband, you can just simply say that my spouse has prepared this dinner for me. Okay. Spouse means promised, and that's why we say when 2 people promise to each other that we're going to live together, they become your spouse or they become your husband or wife. The pronunciation is simple, spouse. No stress, nothing. You just have to understand it's one single word, one single pronunciation. Let's look at a quick example. Spouse means, or example here is, he often talks about how supportive his spouse is. So here we are talking about a guy. The guy is talking about his wife. Instead of saying wife, this person has written spouse. Okay, how supportive my spouse is. All right, let's look at the next word, and I think this would be our 5th word in the series. The example or the meaning of friendship is a close and mutual relationship between friends. Friendship is always between friends. It's a close relationship. It's a, when you are extremely close with each other, you can call that we have a friendship. Friendship is derived from the word friend, which means you share a strong bond. Suffix is ship, which means state or condition. So the condition of having a strong bond with somebody is called as friendship. I have a strong friendship with my spouse. You can also say that. I have a strong friendship. I have a strong bond with my spouse. The pronunciation is friendship. Friendship. 2 words, 2 sounds. Friendship. Okay. Let's look at the example. The example is true friendship is built on trust and understanding. True friendship is built on trust and understanding. So the word we are discussing here is friendship. Now, time for a quick exercise to revise all the 5 words that we have just discussed. I really want you to write your answers in the comment section so that I can check it. All you have to do is write answers for exercise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. The first question for the fill in the blanks is, communication is a key to a happy relationship with your who? Communication is a key to have a happy relationship with your, I can say with your spouse. If you communicate properly, you will have a healthy relationship with your spouse. Next, my and I are working together on a big project for the company. Remember, working together. What is the word given to working together? The word is colleague. Now here, it's really important that you focus on the spelling of these words. The entire problem happens when we don't get the correct spelling. So here, listen to the pronunciation. Colleague. Colleague. Okay. You have to get the pronunciation and the spelling correct. Next question is, she is not a close friend, just dash from work. Remember, somebody you know but you are not close friends with is called as AQAI T-A-N-C-E. Let me know if my spelling is correct. If not, you have to correct me in the comment section. Acquaintance. Okay. Next, their dash grew stronger over the years despite living in different countries. Two people had a strong bond, and over time it has even gotten stronger even when they were living separate. Their friendship grew stronger. Correct? Next, I have one dash an older sister who lives in another country. Older sister, that is sibling. You can pause this video, get your answers, and then check what I have written on the board. Okay, so the words that we have just discussed are these. We have discussed acquaintance, we have talked about sibling, we have colleague over here, check the spellings properly, we have friendship over here, and then we have spouse. All these 5 words I am sure you know by now. I am sure you will be able to use them. Okay. Now, if you remember, I had already talked about how to remember these words. Apart from the one that we are discussing today, there is a video that I'm going to leave here. You can check that. Also, if you remember just now, I taught you how to break these words, equine and tense. There is something called as root and prefix. I have taught this method in one of my videos, how to break these words to remember them in long term. I'm leaving the link over here. Please check that video as well. Now, let's look into the next word. We have companion. The meaning, okay, let me just move it a little bit up. The word we have right now is companion. Companion. Companion is a relationship, or having a company with somebody that you spend a lot of time with you, often providing company. When somebody or someone who spends a lot of time with you to give you company. Someone who spends a lot of time with you to give you company so that you don't get bored is called as companion. That person is called as companion. Companion is derived from the word comp, C-O-M, which means together. Then we have penion. The root is pen, which means bread, and then suffix is ion, which means state or condition. You have prefix, root, and then suffix. Prefix, root, and suffix. Companion means together, pen means bread. Earlier, when people used to have dinner, they used to share the same bread, and this means state. A state of sharing time with one another. Earlier, it used to mean bread because people used to share their bread together. But now it means a person who spends time with you. The pronunciation is simple: companion, companion, companion. Remember this. Let's move on to the next word. Example, we have, my dog had been a loyal companion for years. Oh my God, I need to stop doing this. I'm so sorry. My dog has been a loyal companion for years. He has been a loyal friend for years. He had spent a lot of time with me and our bond has grown stronger. This is called as companion. Now, let's look into the next word. We have neighbor. This is a very simple word. Who lives next to you, who lives near you is called as neighbor. Neighbor, ne means near, bor means dwell. Dwell as in somebody who lives. Dwell means somebody who lives. So you can say that somebody who lives near me is called as neighbor. Okay, is called as neighbor. I just dropped my pen. So neighbor means, the pronunciation is neighbor. Neighbor. If you're going for American English, the pronunciation will change. If you're going for British English, it will change even further. So you have to choose which pronunciation you want. I simply go with the basic understanding of dialect, neighbor, neighbor. I don't go into depth because then I'm going to confuse myself. The example is on your screen. My neighbor always greets me with a smile in the morning. My neighbor always greets me with a smile in the morning. Next, we have partner. Partner is someone you share a close relationship with, either in life or work. You could have a partner at work, business partner. You could have a partner at home, like crime partner, movie partner, husband, wife. So partner is someone you share a close relationship. It's derived from the word part, that means to share. Suffix is nar. It's a suffix that you add when you want to show that we are talking about a person. When we are talking about a person. So I'm saying partner, partner, together. The pronunciation is simple, partner, partner. Nothing complicated is happening right now. We just talked about companion. We talked about partner. I think we talked about neighbor, right? These are the words we talked about. Let's look at a quick example. She is my business partner and a great friend. She is my business partner and a great friend. Okay. Next we have parenthood. Parenthood is the word given to the state of being a parent and raising children. When you raise children, you become a parent, and that state, the state when you become parents, is called as parenthood. Parent is the root word, somebody who brings or nurtures. Parent is the word meaning somebody who brings somebody in life and they nurture them. So you can become a parent the day you deliver a baby, but you actually go into a state of parenthood when you raise somebody. For example, I had a daughter last year and I am raising my daughter. She is 1 year old. So I am in parenthood. I am in parenthood. Parenthood can be simply pronounced as parenthood. 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 Okay. Let's look at a quick example. Parenthood teaches you patience and responsibility. Parenthood teaches you patience and responsibility. That's 100% true. This is the word that I have learned. What is patience? When they eat dinner, you have to be patient. You have to be responsible. Okay. Let's look at the next word. We have relationship is a bond or a connection between people. When you have a relationship with a friend, it becomes friendship. But what is friendship? Friendship is a relationship between two people. It's a connection between two people. Root is relate, to connect, and ship means state or condition. A condition of relating with somebody, a condition of connecting with somebody is the meaning of relationship. The pronunciation is relationship, relationship. You have to be quick, relationship. Okay, let's look at the example. Their relationship has grown stronger over the years. Their relationship has grown stronger over the years. Next word in this series. Actually, we are done with 5 words. Let's do a quick exercise. Before we dive into this exercise, I want to remind you something. We are talking about words related to relationship and people. So when you have to revise these words, you should take out a notebook. Okay, let me do it with a simple example. Let's say this is my notebook. I'm going to do 2 activities with this. The first activity is create my word journal. Create my word journal. I'll write the first word, divide into 4 sections. I'm going to show you this picture later. We had already talked about in one of the videos. The link is over here. This is the word journal. You have to create your own word journal. Number 1. Number 2, the next practice that I expect you to do is on the top write people and relationship as the heading and write down all the words that I had just discussed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 till 20. See how many words can you remember in the first 5 minutes after you finish this lecture. The moment you finish this lecture, close the video, open a notebook and start writing. Start writing. First word is this, second is this. Let's say you are able to remember 10 words out of 20. Out of these 10 words, you just have to remember 5 of them. In order to communicate properly with somebody, in order to write a decent document about this topic, you need only 5 words. So the target is out of 20, if I'm getting 10, out of 10, if I could remember 5, my task is done. That's my target. Okay. So the exercise that we're going to do is 1 word answer. I'm going to give you the question. You have to guess the answer. A connection between 2 or more people. What is the meaning of this word? A connection between 2 or more people. I think relationship. Am I right? Let's go with relationship. Let's go with relationship. If you want these questions and if you want this PDF, you just have to write us an email, learnwithsamanash@gmail.com. The state of being a father or mother is called as parenthood. Is called as parenthood. The relationship between a father and a mother, or the state of being a father and mother. Next, someone who shares time or activities with you. Someone who shares time or activities with you is called as companion. They share time and they do some activities with you. Companion. A person living nearby is neighbor. A person living nearby is neighbor. A person who shares responsibilities with you in work or life is called as partner. I'm giving the answers real quick. So before I even discuss these questions, you can pause the video and you can do these exercises. Okay? Let's look at the next set of words, or before that, the words that we had just discussed are neighbors, parenthood, companion, partner, relationship. These are the words that we just discussed. Now, let's look at the next set of words. We have engagement. Engagement is a formal agreement to get married. Before marriage happens, you engage with that person. You get engaged with that person. Engage is derived from the word root engage, that means to involve or to commit. That's why engagement means to committing to a relationship. You're committing to a relationship. Now, pronunciation could also sometime you may hear engagement. Engagement. It's not engagement, it's engagement. The I sound will be the priority here. Engagement. Don't say engagement, because engage means something else. Here we are talking about engagement. Okay? Get the pronunciation correct. Let's look at an example. Their engagement was announced at the family dinner. Their engagement was announced at the family dinner. Next word we have marriage. Marriage is a legal union between two people in a relationship. It's a very simple word. Pronunciation is marriage, and marry means to join in a wedlock. Or suffix is IAGE, which means to join, or a state or a condition. It's a state or a condition to marry somebody, called as marriage. Marriage. The meaning of or the example is, their marriage is built on mutual respect and love. Their marriage is built on mutual respect and love. This is an example. Next word we have. So first we actually talked about a legal engagement process. Then we got married, and generally in some cases they don't live together forever. They go into divorce. Divorce is the legal dissolution of a marriage. When you properly legalize or you separate with one another, that's called divorce. It's not a very good thing. Divorce is pronounced as divorce. Sometimes it's also pronounced as divorce. Divorce, divorce. These are two pronunciations that you may hear people saying. But the correct pronunciation is divorce. 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 Don't say divorce. That's not correct. Divorce. Divorce is derived from the word div, which is to separate. Ors means to turn. You separate and you go on different paths. You turn from each other, you get divorced. Okay? The example of this word would be, they decided to get a divorce after several years of conflict. They decided to get a divorce, to get separated from one another. Okay? Get separated from one another. Next word we have compatibility. It's a very good word. It's actually a C1 word. Compatibility means the ability of two people to exist or work together. When two people exist or work together, this is the ability when they are so comfortable with another that they can work together. It's derived from the word compatible. This sentence over here is for your knowledge. If you don't want to remember this, it's totally fine. If you could remember this word, you could remember the meaning, you're good to go. This is one of the methods to remember it. Being compatible, to able to exist together, it means a state or a quality of being existing together. The breakdown of this word is compatibility. There are many sounds. Compatibility. It's called as compatibility. Compatibility. My compatibility with my spouse is tremendous. My compatibility with my spouse is awesome. Example of this word is going to be compatibility is key to a healthy and a lasting relationship. Is a key to have a healthy and a lasting relationship. If you're compatible with someone, you will have a good relationship. You will have a longer relationship. Let's look at the next word in the series. We have generosity. Generosity means the quality of being kind and willing. When you are kind and willing to help somebody, you are a generous person. The pronunciation is generosity. There is a stress on this word, generosity. It's derived from the word generous, which means having a giving nature. When you always help somebody, when you are extremely kind with somebody, when you are extremely sweet with somebody, you are a generous person. Okay, so generosity, generosity, generosity. All right, let's look at the example. The example is, his generosity is evident in the way he helps those in need. His generosity, or if I have to simplify the sentence, I can say that the way he treats other people, the way he helps other people, you can say that he is a generous person. His generosity is visible the way he helps everybody who needs him. These are just sample sentences. You can create your own sentences based on your life. Always create sentences based on your life. Next, I think we have discussed 5 words. So I have a quick exercise which is match the following. We have 5 questions here and 5 answers here. You have to match them. Pause this video right now and do this. Okay? Being kind and giving. Somebody who is being kind and giving is generosity. Generosity. Okay. Work well together without conflict. When 2 people can work together properly without a conflict, they are compatibility. They're compatible. A legal union of 2 people. When 2 people actually unionize with each other, they get into marriage. A formal agreement to get married. Before marriage, when you do a formal agreement, that's called as engagement. The legal end of a marriage is called as divorce. Divorce. This is the exercise for you. You can do this again, or you can also copy paste these questions into your notebook and try to practice them. Okay. Next, we have the last 5 words, or the words that we have just revised are engagement, marriage, divorce, generosity, compatibility. Okay. Next word we have conflict. Conflict simply means a serious disagreement on an argument. When 2 people fight, that's a conflict. Another word for conflict is to fight with somebody. To fight. Root is conflict means to strike. When you strike from one another. When you strike together. When you fight together. The pronunciation is, if you are using this word as a noun, the pronunciation is conflict. But if you are using this word as a verb, it becomes conflict. 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 If it's a noun, it's a conflict. If it's a verb, it's conflict. Get this pronunciation correct. Let's look at the example. Their conflict was resolved after a huge discussion or after a long discussion. Their fight was solved. Okay. Next question. Trust is a very simple word. When you believe in somebody, a firm belief in someone's truth or a reliability. When you trust somebody, when you rely on somebody, when you trust or when you are believing in them, that's called as trust. It's derived from the word trust, which is confidence. Trust, pronunciation is simple, trust. Trust. Okay? When you believe in somebody. Example is, trust is the foundation of any successful relationship. Trust is the foundation of a marriage. Trust is the foundation of marriage. They got divorced because they did not trust one another. Next word is loyalty. Loyalty is a strong support, strong feeling of support to somebody. When you share this support for somebody, when you are extremely into the relationship, you're actually a loyal person. The pronunciation is loyalty, and it is derived from the word loyal, which means faithful, state of being faithful to somebody. Another word of loyalty means being faithful. Being faithful. Go to the pronunciation is depth, it's loyalty. Loyalty. The example of this word is on your screen. Her loyalty to her family is admirable. Her loyalty to her husband is admirable. Her loyalty to her sibling is admirable. What is the meaning of this word admirable? Being commendable, being awesome. Let's look at next word. We have supportive. Supportive means providing encouragement or emotional help. When you give somebody an emotional help or any kind of sympathetic help, you are being supportive. You can do physical support also, but here we are talking about emotional support. It's derived from the word support, means to hold. If means having the quality of holding somebody, having the quality of supporting somebody. The pronunciation is supportive. Supportive. Let's look at the examples. He was very supportive during her difficult times. Or, my family was very supportive during COVID. My family was very supportive during COVID. Let's look at the next word. We have dependable, someone you can rely or trust. When you can depend on somebody. Depend on somebody. When you can depend on somebody, you become dependable. Dependable is derived from the word depend, and the meaning is, or the pronunciation is dependable. Dependable. Being dependable on somebody means someone you can trust or you can rely on. That person is a dependable person. That person is a dependable person. When you depend on them, you become dependent, but since these people are extremely trustworthy, they are loyal, they are called dependable people. Okay. I can also use it in a very good example. If you subscribe to my channel, you become dependable crowd. You become a trustworthy crowd. Okay. Next, let's look at couple of one example. A dependable friend is a treasure for life. A dependable friend is extremely rare to find in today's time. Next, we have a quick exercise of all these 5 words. This is called as context learning. We had discussed this method in one of our videos. Remember words with the help of picture. Now, can you tell me what kind of activity is happening here? Look at their facial expressions. Are they happy or they sad? Or they are doing something else? In my opinion, they are having a conflict. They are having a conflict. This is a conflict situation. Next word is on your screen. When you sign a legal document and when you shake hands with somebody, what is happening here? You are trusting this person. This is a sign of trust. They said yes, you said okay. I'm trusting this. Okay. Next word over here is, what is happening here? Are they dependable or they're loyal or they're supportive? I think all the 3 words can fix here. They're depending on one another. They are loyal with one another. They are supportive to their feelings. So I'm going to go with the word loyal. They are loyal to their friendship. They are friends, childhood friends, and they're still friends. So they're loyal friends. Next word on your screen is this. Here we have an old person, extremely old person, and this person is taking care of her. So I think this lady over here is depending on that person, and that person becomes a dependable person. Dependable person. You can trust this person to take care of you. Okay. Next word in the series is this. This person is crying and the other person is listening to what is happening. So they become supportive. Supportive is when you listen to somebody, emotional comfort. When you give emotional comfort to somebody, you become supportive. Now, the words that we had just discussed are these: supportive, conflict, loyalty, trust, and dependable. You won't believe you have just covered 20 words related to people and relationship. You have to understand these are the words that we just discussed. We have spouse, colleague, acquaintance, relationship, neighbor, partner, engagement, marriage, divorce, conflict, loyalty, supportive, friendship, parenthood, compatibility, dependable, supportive, generosity, sibling, companion. I am sure you will be able to remember these words. Let's do a quick exercise. Marriage, a a situation where you marry somebody is called as marriage. Neighbor is somebody who lives nearby. Relationship is having a strong bond with somebody. Supportive is when you give emotional comfort to somebody. This is how you're going to revise. Once you are done with all the 20 words, you can quickly revise them like this. Okay. Now, I want to quickly show you something. There is something called as personalized dictionary. You have to create a personalized dictionary like this. Put the word at the center. Here write the root, how to break this word. Paste a picture. You can also create an image. Then you have to write the meaning on one side and you have to write an example. This is how you can revise these words quickly. This is called as creating a word journal or a dictionary. Okay. There is a quick example on your screen, embark. This is the example that I have already shown. Now that's all for today's lecture. If you want a free PDF or the words that we have discussed with meanings in example, you can always write us an email. I'll be more than happy to catch up in the next video. Till then, enjoy yourself. Take care. Bye-bye.